Monday marked the first of 3 shopping days per week allowed by the government to residents of Church Corner, Bamboo River and areas of Summit, which were placed under lockdown on Independence Day because of a number of confirmed novel coronavirus cases. Minister of Health and Wellness Dr. Christopher Tufton paid a visit to the areas under quarantine in the parish of St. Thomas on the weekend. Our reporter Melvin Pennant tagged along and filed this report.
The authorities saw an uptick in cases in the parish of St. Thomas starting from July 31. The team had been in that area working when a particular case led to the discovery of 5 cases, which were confirmed a few days later. The numbers have been increasing since then.
Yes, we're the team on the ground in keeping with the surveillance focus, because we have shifted significantly the approach to COVID now from border restrictions, even though there are still some restrictions at the border, and screening, which still remains at the border, to a greater emphasis on surveillance in the communities. And I want to begin by commending the public health team in the parish of St. Thomas and by extension in the region, because it is as a result of the surveillance that we do that has led to us picking up these spikes, if you will, in cases. St. Thomas is not the only parish. There are other parishes. You don't hear about them unless there's a quarantining of a community. But wherever we notice anything unusual, the team goes in and they assess and they determine. The truth is, over time, we're going to have more of this kind of intervention as part of isolating the problem if we think the problem is, and dealing with it decisively to cauterize it.
The quarantine boundaries start at the intersection of Morant River and the Bustamante Bridge and continues to where Stony Gut Avenue and Paul Place intersect. The boundary covers Summit Road and Summit Grove. Member of Parliament for St. Thomas Eastern, Dr. Fenton Ferguson, has no problem with the quarantine, but he is concerned about access to commodities and survival of small businesses.
I think if we are able to persuade the persons in the area and the business persons in conforming, and the public education that will take place, I believe it can be orderly. And it would serve many persons better if you didn't have to go into Morant Bay proper, if you are able to get it from small shops. But if you lock it down, or if by virtue of action persons decide to close, then it means that business will be impacted too, because many of the persons who are operating here, they live in the area. They are not just visiting. They might be living in, but have their businesses on the front. And so it is important how we manage the area, and that is why I will be vigilant in my own pursuit.
The MP also had questions about COVID-19 test results.
The turnaround time, I heard a question asked about how long it will possibly take once the testing is done. And I think it's important for us to know the turnaround time for the testing. Because while you are waiting, persons are, if they are positive, they are also infecting. In spite of what we are saying about doing all the other things. We have persons who are not following protocol and moving around. And so we want to ensure that they are in a position.
The Health Minister, Dr. Christopher Tufton, responded commending Dr. Ferguson for his efforts in the community, but said residents have their own role to play.
He clearly has maintained an important interest in what's happening here for obvious reasons. He's a member of Parliament. And I think we can work together, appeal to the citizens, and I know he will join me in that, so that they appreciate the importance of their role. A lot of these spikes that we see, frankly speaking, could be avoided if citizens play their part in observing the protocols, the wearing of the mask, the sanitizing, and those who come in from overseas observe the stay at home, isolate from family members until the 14 days. And very importantly, if they have symptoms, they must report it.
The quarantine will last for 14 days, at the end of which the Health Ministry will assess the situation and inform the public. Melvin Pennant, PBCJ News.